So many characters, actually. So many characters deserve nerfs. I'll be interested to see what they do with Achilles. Achilles, a bunch of people want his nerfs, but he's been performing poorly. Why is there a Chef Vulcan in the background, and why are we thumping? Why is this happening? Oh no, not the plate! Oh god, leave Andy out of this! What is literally happening? Send out. I don't know what just happened, but that was certainly.
These are the people I have to work with.
Oh no,
on a
you're
daily
laggy, Hindu.
basis.
You're laggy.
Welcome to another wonderful Patch Note show. It's 5.7, the update show, and it's called Drop the Beat.
Why am I watching this on
wonder
Twitch?
why. We'll get onto that in a minute. Things to look forward to today. We're going to have a lot of
always
stuff to do with
lagging on
item
Twitch.
balance and,
We're
of
switching.
course,
We're gonna
God
switch.
balance as always. And we'll round the show
no, it's
out
really laggy
with
on Twitch
skins
too, I
as well. A detailed look at those in game. But for you guys who are interested in the skins, we'll just give you a quick recap of exactly what you're going to get to see today. We'll start things off with Sun.God Raw. Yes, Sun.God Raw. It's another one of those .exe skins coming at you, ready with Raw. Now, as a warning, some of these skin previews we're going to be showing here today are actually going to be a work in progress. Like they were filmed earlier on this week.
There we go.
And obviously there's a few more updates to these than what you'll see there. This one is Celestial
That's a
God
cool skin.
Odin.
Now that's a skin.
Too. Looking all
Raw
fancy
doesn't
with
need
that
more skin.
massive
Now that right
blue
there, that's
weapon.
a skin.
Lovely looking.
That's
Looks like
the
he fits in
real deal.
Paladins with that one too. He could be crossover promotion on that. After that, we've got a new one
That's
coming
the
at you.
real deal.
Mixer Scardy. It's going to be available too
boy.
for you guys to pick up this week. And as I said,
I
some of
might
these
switch
are
it to YouTube.
work in progress for these previews, so you'll see a little bit more of them in-game later on, where we'll go through the details and some additions may be found there. That's Scardy. Moving on to... I'ma just show it, like plushie RTO.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't need selling, this one, boys and girls. You're gonna buy it, whether you have the money or not. And if you don't have the money, mum and dad surely will. Because you need to kill people as a cute, cuddly
Oh my goodness.
bear. That's right. And last but not least is Raven
That is certainly
Ravana.
something.
Or Raven, as most of us know.
Oh,
He's
that's
finally got
literally
a
this
skin,
skin.
boys and girls. You can stop complaining.
Woo,
And a
Raven
good
has
one
a
at that.
skin.
This completes the
Yay.
5 EDM skins.
Raven has
Maybe
a
there's more in the
skin.
future, but there's at least
Raven
5
has a
now
skin.
that you can make
Robin
a team around.
Robin has a skin.
And last but not least, obviously, we will be having a look at Odin's getting some mastery updates today too. So he'll be looking forward to those. We'll get to have a look at those in-game on top of it. But that's enough about skins. It's time to welcome onto the Patch Note set with me the lovely, the glorious, the amazing Isaiah and Brett.
Me.
How's it going, boys?
Oh,
What's going on? How you doing?
Yeah, not
I'm
too
doing
bad.
good,
So,
I guess.
what are you gonna here to talk to me about today? Who wants to go first?
We'll never
I'll
know
go
who it is
first.
in the
I can
bottom
go
right.
first.
We'll
Okay.
never know.
So we have a community event happening this weekend.
We do?
You can play Smite. It's a video game. It's the one we make. You can play Smite and you can earn an Enigma chest for getting 3 first wins of the day. This event's happening all weekend. Friday, play 3 games, get 1 chest. Well, you have to win them. Saturday, win 3 games, 1 chest. Sunday, win 3 games, 1 chest.
So just win 3 games and I get a chest.
Yep.
Can I go past 9 wins?
Can you make it past 9 wins? I'm not
That's a good
sure.
question.
It is a great
I don't
question.
know. Have you looked at matchmaking lately? Like
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, you can get as many wins as you want, but once you get to 9,
9 wins.
3 wins chest, 3 wins chest, 3 wins
Awesome.
chest.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
Cool. Isaiah, what
Pretty
about you,
fun.
my friend?
Pretty fun.
So I'm here to talk about the Console Adventures Community Stream Day.
Oh, boy.
Last week we had the PC event.
Yeah.
And it was a ton of fun. Lots of people streamed, played the new Hell's Inner Demon Arena. They sent us their VODs, and we're getting ready to send out codes to those players. But this Friday, since we just released the update today on console, we'll be having the Console Community Stream Day. So if you're playing on console, want to play the Inner Demon Arena event, send us your VOD. We'll send you skin codes. It's that easy.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So stream on console, get some codes, just send proof, I guess, as well.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah. You can stream on any platform that you want. Send us your VOD, and we'll send you some codes.
Awesome. Okay, thanks a lot, boys.
No problem.
That's it from these two, but I guess
then you have to play
guess
it.
it's time for balance. But it's a special day today.
A special
It's
balance
Pom-Pom's
day.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pom.
Happy birthday, Pon.
Oh, and also Agro's with him, looking like an idiot in a hat. Let's get it over to the balance team.
You know, now that Pon and I are on the same team, being on the desk together, I thought I'd, support him in his birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Pon.
birthday,
I'm
Pon.
wearing my hat, which very clearly cuts off the top of the screen. You got a
tried
little
to-
Very
special hat
clearly.
right there.
I tried to wear this one, but it doesn't quite fit on this headset.
It really worked with your outfit, though. It's
appreciate it.
it's quite a shame that it didn't work
Yeah.
out, but that's
Quite a
okay.
shame.
You know, we'll get in more into Pon's birthday later on. I know you guys want to see these balance updates,
Yes,
so we're gonna start
please.
with items like we
I'll
usually
probably be in
do.
the way, like
it's gonna be
usually,
Crusher, first
so.
one up here. Look, Assassins have
Look
been
at me.
really
Look
good.
at me
This is
getting
just
better at
targeting
this.
them out
Look how
a
quickly
little
I
bit.
got out of the way,
The
dude.
increased cost from
Look
2,300 to
how quickly.
2,400, and that
Oh,
passive gonna
yeah.
come down a little bit more as well.
I don't think that text is quite accurate.
Oh no, that
But-
would be bad.
That would be
But
bad.
it does have
oh,
an
yeah.
increased
Can you,
Oh.
Pon, is this you?
Oh, God.
Did you try and make it so that Assassins are even better now?
Yeah,
This
you
item
know how
now
a lot of
grants
them do that,
500
it's
health
like
when
350
completed.
health.
Yeah.
Thank
Make
the
it
Lord
500
for
instead.
Crusher Bomb.
But you just add that on to Crusher.
Yeah,
That'd be-
you had to build 2 items.
That would be insane. Wow, what a birthday gift to all you Assassin players
Yeah.
from Pon himself.
Holy.
I didn't know that you could just make your own birthday buffs happen.
Yeah, that's what happens on everyone's birthday. They get one change.
All right, cool.
How's mine?
January 24th, Zeus gets his stun back. Everybody, make sure you lock it in as soon as possible. Jokes aside,
Yes.
Crusher is getting a slight cost increase from 2,300 to 2,400, and then that passive base damage per tick is being reduced from 15 down to 10. So
Oh,
a
wow,
little bit
that's
slower to
actually a
finish it off, but
decent
even once you
nerf.
do, it's going
Wow.
to be a little bit less potent.
Yeah, so core changes here is it's a bit too cost efficient what it gives. It gives power, it gives attack speed, it gives penetration, it gives this really nice base damage
That is
proc,
a pretty decent
that
nerf.
provides a lot of power. And the big thing there was that base damage also made it really good. Even if you weren't building many items, you could go a very tanky
Fair.
build on maybe like a warrior jungler, like Robin, for example, could use this really well.
Yes, he could.
Or you could just put on assassin build really early, and it benefited heavily from the fact
Alright.
that it had that base damage. Toning down that base damage, you have to invest more into damage, so you're yourself are squishy while you're dealing damage, but also a bit cost increase to make it more in line with the
It's a
stats.
decent
that
nerf.
And
Crusher was
we've
too
seen it a little
strong.
bit on CAMAZOTZ solo in the Pro
Yep.
League, where that was
Camo
like the only
OP.
damage item. We think that this will help out in that regard, that you have to at least stack some other damage if you do want to go for this Crusher. All right, next up, kind of related here, the Mace. This is the tier 1 of Crusher, Jotun's Wrath, Brawler's Beatstick, or Titan's Bane.
Oh, wow.
Getting a slight cost increase up to 700.
That's a huge
Yeah, so you
change.
could build this starter blessing. You could build this and have enough
Wow.
for like 3 potions. That gave you a lot of power, gave you a lot of sustain, and it was just a bit too
Not
much.
being
If you're
able to
gonna
get that
invest
extra
much into damage,
potion's
you should really
huge,
be sacrificing
actually.
some sustain options. We did this a lot.
That's
in
a
Season
big
5 with a lot
deal.
of the sustain options being removed. This allowed you to have a whole bunch of power. And
That takes
sustain.
away a lot of
taking away
early
one
build
potion essentially
stuff.
from that start is what this change does.
That's
Makes
like-
it a bit more reasonable
oh.
compared to the other starts that you can get.
I think it also helps some of the gods that want to start Katana. Now you
Yeah.
don't feel like you have to start Mace. Katana and
Yeah.
Mace now sitting at 700 a piece. Now the cost
That's
for Heavy Mace and Warrior's Bane have been adjusted to make sure that it's not
Yeah.
anymore to get to that tier 2. So
Yes.
your curve is still the same. It's just the level 1.
Yeah, it's just level 1's increased. All the other costs have been adjusted to make sure that they're the same for players.
All right, next up is going to be Magi's Cloak. You mentioned it. A lot of Assassins are
buff?
picking this up. Basically, everyone
Oh, a
is picking
nerf.
this up right now. Slight cost
Interesting.
increase from 2050 to 2150, and the health as well going down from 350 to 300. This was basically Stone of Gaia 2.0. At the
mean, it
current
was
cost.
very
Yeah, it was a
good.
very good one-of item
It was
for
never-
like any
there was
person
never
to
a
pick up.
bad
It gave
opportunity
good
to pick
protections,
it
it
up,
gave a
so I
lot
guess
of
that
health,
makes
which is a
sense.
very valuable stat, especially
It'll
if
still
you're
be
squishy.
good.
Yeah.
And it was all
100
for a
gold,
pretty
50
good
health, it's still
It was
good.
for a pretty good cost, right? You
like
could get it
Crusher.
for fairly cheap.
Good nerf, so good.
And when you like actually try to sim like what's the most optimal builds for protections, this one was almost always on there.
That's fine.
It was a bit too efficient for what it was, the one of buy. So now it's a bit more expensive.
I like
and it's
both
going to
those
provide a
changes.
little bit less health. So it's
They're
more
both
comparable
changes
to other
that
defensive choices.
bring them down from
Perfect.
being
Damage
too
dealers.
OP, but
Build damage.
still
It's,
good.
it's more fun
Yeah.
that
Still
way.
good.
Trust me.
Yeah, it's fun to blow people up.
Exactly. Big numbers are
Yeah.
why you play Smite, at least if you're me.
Yeah.
All right, last item on the list here. Pretty short on the item balance this time around. It's going to be the Talisman of Energy. Slight buff here. We've been kind of looking at this item, and we've seen it picked up very sparingly. Magical protection going up from 50 to 60,
That's
but
a
I
big
feel like this
deal.
item is already in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, it's pretty close to being good. When you have it in a situation where you're like sieging a base,
10
or
magic
you're defending a
protections
siege, where
on
you have
that
minions
item
that are
is
dying around, you give this buff to your
huge.
team. It's actually very effective.
Yeah.
But in the situations where it's a little bit less so,
Huge.
it wasn't giving enough just raw defense to survive things, especially if you're trying to deal with magical damage. And so by having it have a bit more protections, it's more useful in the situations where it isn't super optimal and super used. And then when you actually get into the situations where it's really good for you.
I think that
just
item will get picked up a ton
Perfect.
now.
Okay, so
I think by
maybe
giving
a
him
couple
more
more talisman
magical
of energies
protections, you get
coming
picked
to
up
you in your
all
game
the
soon
time.
enough. That does it for item balance. If you just joined us, we got a nice little graphic to show you what you may have missed. Big one, the Crusher nerf. I think alongside the Mace, Magi's Cloak
Not
as
too
well.
many item
These are pretty
changes.
pro-focused nerfs, it feels like.
Yeah, it's very much towards the high-end builds that we're utilizing these really efficient items that gave them enough damage and tankiness. You should be itemizing to build into one or the other, and if you build only one of, you should feel that weakness. It should help you augment your weakness, but it shouldn't like completely eliminate it.
Perfect. All right, that's your items so far here for 5.7. That's all the items, I should say. Next up, though, the fun part,
God
the
balance.
God balance. Okay, so
All right, here we
I
go.
see that, I double-checked this list. Hinduman's been warning me that alphabetical order is sometimes not very consistent here on the update
I
show,
wanna
but
see.
you killed it here
Oh,
today,
good.
Pon. Great
Good.
work.
I honestly didn't
Great
check.
work.
Well, you did a great job, and we're going to start off with BACCHUS because there's no A god
Better
that's
be a
getting
buff.
adjusted. Belch of the Gods getting some interesting changes here. So the big one, I mean, a little bit of damage increase per tick, and that'll help out those BACCHUS jungles or BACCHUS solos that like to run around, but even the BACCHUS supports. But the big one for me here is that the healing reduction that this applied didn't actually happen unless you stunned your opposition. So if they beads, if they walked out of range, that healing reduction never happened.
I believe actually if you it was more hitting with the last tick. You had to
Oh, the
hit with
last tick. Okay, makes sense. But if you walked out of range or was interrupted, then that healing reduction wasn't happening.
Okay.
Now, as soon as you get hit by that first belch, you're getting healing reduction.
That makes more sense.
And it's also going to be a little bit longer. It's 1 second longer. Matches a few other anti-heals that we have in the game. The big thing here is, first Belch of the Gods, it's going to be an item that is, or it's going to be an ability that with BACCHUS you want to kind of
It's
start
gonna
to
be
get
an
some wave
item.
damage.
Wow!
But then at some point you're going to have to get a point and
Crazy.
chug. And with that point and chug, you're kind of taking away from opportunity to get like a second rank in an ability. Because you're probably going to get belly flop. And then if you really want to get more chug damage, you can put a third in, but you're not going to be able to start drinking at all to get all the other effects that like Tipsy and Smash give you. So by making it so it has a bit more base damage, you can spend that point and feel a bit better about it. As well as the anti-heal brings a lot of utility that BACCHUS... We talk about it a lot when BACCHUS is picked, like, oh, he brings the anti-heal. But when he isn't
that's a
actually
good
applying it that
change.
often because it's on the
good
stun, you're not really bringing that strength to the team. And so now you can bring that strength more regularly, more reliably.
He's gonna
And it
need
works
more than
before
that.
you
If he doesn't
get that
get more
point
than
chug,
that, though,
because
still won't
before
be
it was
viable.
never going to stun if you weren't
As a
tipsy, so you
support.
couldn't apply the anti-heal. Now, starting at level 1, if you hit them at all, it'll apply that anti-heal.
Yeah, and that is impactful against potions too.
Very, very much
it?
so. One of the little things that Sobek does well that I think
guess
doesn't get
that's
talked
it.
about enough. Okay, that's BACCHUS. Next up is going to be CAMAZOTZ. He's
Not
going to be
enough
receiving
one.
a
Here
nerf
we go,
here. First up, he's going to be
finally.
on the passive Essence Drinker. That Vampirism buff
hit
is
him.
going to go from 5% down to 4%.
Okay,
So
that's
this is
okay.
3. You can multiply this
fine.
by 3,
Yeah.
though. That's a little icon in your bottom left
Yeah.
corner. So
So
this is actually a
12% instead of
3%
15.
nerf if you're at max stacks.
Yeah, so if you had all stacks, it was 50% increased healing from all sources. Now it's only 12.
And that's a really big deal because, as you mentioned, all sources, not just
Yes.
the pools that are that you're 2, but your Devour as well. So there's going to be some significantly less sustain for CAMAZOTZ, whether it's
nice.
solo or jungle.
Yep.
Next up is going to be Devour for CAMAZOTZ. That's his 3, the little leap. This is, again,
Yes,
trying to hit that sustain that he has in
please.
lane more than anything.
Yeah,
The
so you
heal
can see
on
the
his
kind of
three
like
is
goal of
disgusting.
these changes is when he was in solo lane, he was very effective at surviving, getting
Yeah,
his health
'cause
back up, being able to
he's
box
got
very
full health all
effectively
the
to the
time.
point where it didn't feel quite fair. And he
Yeah,
can also
yeah.
build these defensive choices that really... The more healing you have, the more
Nice.
beneficial like protections are because your total effective health pool is much greater.
Right.
And so we're toning those down so that
Good,
he has to make more
good.
choices. If he really wants to start getting sustain, you can increase it with physical power. So you can build more physical power items because they have scaling components to them.
Yes.
But unless if
Good
you're going to build
changes.
this more kind of tanky hybrid, you don't get as much free healing for doing so.
And Devour, one of the few healing abilities that works off of per hit that doesn't get capped. So I
Yeah.
think that while it may seem like 10 is not a lot, at the level 1, because it doesn't get capped, you get to hit the entire wave plus a god. You're hitting 7
Yeah.
different targets. Really, really potent. So I think this is a good change
Definitely
in
need
the
to
right
be nerfed.
direction. And one
Anything
more
else?
thing
Yes.
for CAMAZOTZ, Bat Out of Hell, his ultimate getting a slight base damage decrease,
Oh.
about 20 at each rank. And then again, kind of like the Vampirism,
Times
this is
3.
multiplied by 3 if he's hitting you with all
That's
3 of those.
huge.
Yep, he can pop this ability and chase very effectively. He
That's
can get
a
out of danger
big
very
deal.
effectively. And in a lot of team fight scenarios, he can actually dash through multiple targets
There
and
we
get a lot
go.
of damage out.
Love all those
It was a bit
changes.
too much damage for the amount of sustain he has and as the
Stay
amount of
blessed,
survivability he has
folks.
because of this ability.
Stay
Turning it down
blessed.
so it's a bit more reasonable to fight against.
This
Those
all
are good
feels to me
changes.
like, you correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels like CAMAZOTZ solo has been, pretty difficult to deal with because of the tankiness from the sustain and the base damage that he has. So I think he'll still be
Good.
viable in jungle, but this might hurt his solo lane a little bit.
Well, I think he'll still be viable in both. The big thing here is the base damage of his 1 and his 2 are still remaining really high.
Yeah.
And that allows you to box effectively as well as gank very effectively. And so as long
Love
as
it.
those remain
Those are good.
intact,
Those
he's
are
going to be
good.
really good at actually aggressing and ganking, or even
Those
helping
were
a
good
jungler come and
changes.
gank the solo lane.
I like it.
And he'll be able to box effectively and trade. And he has a few other things in his kit that really help him avoid damage.
was
So I
so
expect him to still
broken.
be good in both roles, but especially the solo lane, he'll be
He was
much more,
underrated
fair to
broken.
fight
Like, you
against.
never saw
Especially
Casuals
with that
complaining
too, it still
about
has over
CAMAZOTZ,
100% scaling, so I think he'll be just A-okay.
He'll be just
Speaking
fine.
of assassin scaling, let's go to the next one. Dodgy. Well, we'll get to her scaling nerf in a moment.
This
She's
will
got
be
one more.
interesting.
Horrible burns. This cooldown incredibly low. Was 7 seconds. This is her 1. Now up to 9 seconds. But when you're building CDR, that 7 seconds, it felt like it was up all the time.
Yeah, it was up
It
very
was.
quickly. You popped it and you could hold onto it, and
Okay.
it also slowed, so that meant someone had to burn their escape. By the time your escape came back up, you'd jump on them and you'd immediately slow them again. It was just available really often, and it was a huge amount of damage because that's
Alright.
like it generally falls into the basic attack cancel, which
2
is
seconds
reversed.
is nice.
So making this on a higher
You don't want that
cooldown, you can
ability
slow
to be too
targets
high
and
of a
hit them with
cooldown.
damage less
9
frequently.
seconds.
And
as high
as you
it
were
should
saying,
be.
the escape that she has, or the chase potential that she has, is Trickster Spirit. This physical power scaling going down from 100% down to 85%.
Damn, they're nerfing it
So this
again.
was hitting at 100% plus applying her passive,
Yes.
which is additional scaling. So this is going to hit a little bit weaker.
Interesting.
Yeah, the big thing is she could dive on the backline pretty much
Okay.
for free, right? You could jump on the backline, burst them really
Burst
hard.
in peace,
They could try and
Dodgy.
react to you, but then you ult and you just kind
Those
of
are
kill
2
them.
good nerfs to her.
By making her burst less often,
Those
as
are
well as
good.
less impactful, she has to do a few more things to really get someone into that kill threshold. Look for someone who's already been damaged. Look for someone who's maybe really out of position so they can
So far,
continue
the
to chase and
changes have
trade.
been pretty fire,
It just
dude,
makes
pretty
it so
fire
that
on
when
the
Dodgy
balance.
chooses to engage, it's a little bit more risky for her because she's not going to be guaranteeing such high damage up front.
Perfect. All right, that's Dodgy for you. Next up is one that I'm really, really excited for here, Pon. Hades getting
This
a
is
buff.
fun.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
it's 2 things
For
for Devour
me?
Souls. That's his 3. First one, no longer consumes Blight. So
Yes.
now you don't have to worry about your combo, or like rotation. You can just use all your skills and get the benefits of that Blight no matter what order you're doing it in.
Yeah, there's a lot of situations where consuming the blight led you to having to do clunky things to reapply it so your rest of your abilities could interact. It more created this kind of flow disruption in his
Yeah.
kit versus actually making for
What?
some strategic choices. So that's removed. So that way you can actually use all your abilities in any order you want, which really adds some like depth to what order you really want to do things in a fight versus being forced to devour souls and then save your like your silence beam to make sure that you can reapply blight in
Right.
some way. So that's the
What?
first change.
And the next one is the
Second change.
reason that you're going to be seeing Hades in a lot of games, at least if I'm in them. Devour Souls cooldown from used to be 15 down to 11 as you ranked it. Now
What?
there's 11. It all ranks. So he's actually going to be able to clear the wave
Yes.
occasionally.
This is a really big early change because you're generally maxing this so you actually get to the 11 seconds. pretty
What?
quick.
Right.
But in the
I
early
was
phase,
just
the level 1, 2,
talking
and
up
3,
their
having this on
balance
a 11
changes
second
being
cooldown
so
will help
good.
you able to clear
This
the
man's
waves,
got
trade with your
an
opponent,
11
rotate the
second
jungle camps,
3
kill those more reliably versus
with
having to
how
kill the
good
wave and then
Bancroft's
giving up
is.
side harpies.
And it doesn't
I do
ta-
mage junglers occasionally. Let me
Hades
jungle-
every
So
game. Every
so
game
a
I'm
little
playing
birthday
Hades.
buff for Pon's weird
Holy
jungle stuff. That's
what I
some
do.
Pon stuff.
Cow.
Hades jungle.
That's
but
so
speaking of,
good.
But speaking of gods being able to rotate into
Wow.
camps and
Wow.
clearing those very quickly, Hades struggled with that, and that's why
Okay.
we're seeing this
Hades
change.
didn't
The god
struggle
that's
with
next up on the list, JANUS, did that better than anybody,
Yes.
specifically in the mid lane, and that's where we're going to hit him. Unstable Vortex increased the
Oh.
cooldown from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. Another god, kind of like
yeah.
Dodgy, where it felt like the one was always up. It always feels like JANUS has this available.
Yeah, on that low of a cooldown, you can use it on the wave. It did a lot of damage
Hit
to it, so
him.
you just use a few basic attacks to clear if you've
Ouch.
And then you're able to go straight
Get
to the mid
smacked
camp
on,
and
son.
use it on there. And it was really hard for any other mid laner without a very low cooldown ability
That's
to
a
contest
smack.
that, which gave him incredible pressure, especially like the SPL level where
Yes.
that kind of pressure really, really matters. Having it just
Get
on a
wrecked,
way lower
Janus.
cooldown made sure that he was
Idiot,
consistently
Janus.
applying pressure in late game team fights with some CDR and in the early game with his ability to rotate and clear camps.
And we're also hitting the bonus damage on this ability down from 20% to 15%. This is when you hit both of the
don't
portals
nerf that.
from Unstable Vortex. And this will also hurt his wave clear a little bit.
Yeah, this will hurt his wave clear because he often has 2 of them collapse on either
I
the
hate
melee
that
or the
nerf.
backs, or if you can get into closer position
Increase
both.
the damage
as
on
well
that.
as when you
Reduce
portal
the
someone
damage
and
of
you
hitting
collide both
what?
of them. A little bit
Bring
less
it
top and
back to
burst
being
damage
an
and
ability
drive
that
distance
matters
forward.
if you hit
And
both
then we
of
have
them.
Threshold receiving a nerf as well. That's
I
his
hate
3.
that change,
Decrease the
actually.
duration from 3 to 7 down to 3 to 5.
my
So
God.
before
Holy
you max
freaking
rank, a
Janus
lot of
nerfs,
Janus
dude.
players will rank this up second
Oh my
right after
goodness.
Unstable Vortex. Now, I mean, you walk into the
my
jungle and you
goodness.
lay down that threshold, and not only are you faster, but it lasts for
Holy
7
Janus
seconds, and it
nerfs.
was impossible to get over. This bringing it down
God,
means
I mean,
that
I
you have
hate Janus
I
as
mean, you're
much
not
as the
going to
next
catch Janus
person,
probably
dude,
anyways,
dude,
but
leave
at least
him
you
with,
can
like,
walk
at
where
least
you
one
want
of his
to.
testicles.
Yeah,
Holy,
I
man.
think everyone would agree that Janus's really big strength that he brings is his team mobility that he can have, as well as the kind of ability to zone and keep people out of certain areas.
Right.
Having this on a 7-second duration at max rank meant that your teammates could come back and get it. It was there. You could use it on any path that you wanted, and they'd have to make a
punching him in
choice
the
of,
head
do I
left
leap
and
over it, do I
right.
walk into it? If I walk into it, I'm also going to take more damage from the next unstable vortex that hits me. So having this on a lower duration means that it tones down both his team mobility as well as his area zone denial.
All right.
Perfect. All right, that's your Janus nerfs for this patch. Everyone can
Those are
start
some big
rejoicing
nerfs.
now.
We did
Clumsy,
it.
is
If
that
they
his
just-
tears I hear?
If they
somewhere?
just nerf Janus and they
Clumsy
don't
is
nerf
crying
Doth
right
at the
now.
end of this, I don't
Poor
know what
Clumsy,
to say.
man.
It's
also his
better nerf
birthday,
Doth.
if you didn't know.
Yeah, it is. It's
I
Happy
need
birthday to
my
Clumsy
words.
D.
happy birthday, Clumsy. Make
As
sure
it-
to
Happy
what's his
birthday,
Twitter?
Clumsy.
At Hyra's Clumsy D, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make
make
sure
sure
you
Happy
hit him
birthday,
up.
Clumsy.
Tag Pon Pon as well, because it is
Yep.
his birthday.
Thank
But
you.
365 days a year, it's Clumsy D's birthday. What a guy he is. He's really old by now. It's actually insane.
Yeah, he's in his hundreds.
Yeah, it's getting scary
I'm
for
gonna
him.
tweet him.
Kali,
I'm gonna tweet him
next
happy
up on the
birthday.
list. Another
A
kind of buff about
Yeah.
going to the jungle and clearing camps on rotation, being able to match other junglers. Lash going down on the cooldown from 50, used to be 15 down to 11, now 12 seconds at all ranks. Feels like the same sort of changes that Hades and Janus got.
Yeah, so cooldown is a really big important factor when it turns to what a jungler is going to be
tweeted
able
it.
to do and how good they are in the
Got
early
him.
game versus mid versus late.
good.
Kali is very much a late
Change
game jungler,
cooldown
where she's
to
focused on
12
getting that
seconds
hyper
all
carry,
ranks on
like chin
Lash.
size,
That's a
stone
good
cutting
buff
sword,
for her
find that
early
target,
game.
killing them and healing back up to full. But her early game
That's
is really
nice.
low, and we like these characters having early
is
and late game
interesting.
identities. But when you have someone that's too extreme, it feels like it's more of a handicap. And
I mean,
then
that's
you just
not
kinda
gonna be
hope you
enough
salvage
for
your
her,
way to
but
the
if she
late
gets-
game
if she
versus
gets
being
some more
this
stuff,
meaningful
she
choice
could get
you
pushed over
bring
the
to a
edge.
team draft. So we're bringing the early game up a little
Yep.
bit, toning down the late game just a
It
hair,
won't
so
affect
that
your
they're
late
more
game
of like
at
a
all,
level
0%.
curve, but she's still going to have
But it
her
will
early
help
game
her early
identity.
game.
Plus, Kali, one of those guys, you're probably not be able to
Is
get
that
that
it,
much
though? If
CBR
that's it,
on,
then it
so
doesn't matter.
just any sort of cooldown reduction on her main damage ability in the early game will certainly be valuable
Yeah,
for
the
her
closest
there.
you're going to get is like maybe Anti if you're dealing with a mage and you want to silence them, or Jotuns, but Jotuns feels a bit slow. So
Exactly. So I think this will be really feels good for Kali, at least in the early game. Next up is Poseidon.
Oh, that's not
Some
enough for
tide
her.
changes here. No real damage
She'll be
numbers or
fine.
anything like that, or cooldown or anything.
Decreased
It's
tide
just the title surge
cost.
decreased the tide
Oh.
cost from 30 down to 20,
nice.
and then
Kali's
release the
still bad.
Kraken
Yeah, yeah.
goes. It used to cost you half your tide meter, now will only cost you 30 of it.
Wow.
yeah. The big thing
Interesting.
here is that Tide is this resource that he uses to really augment his damage.
That's gonna help
You
a
kind of
ton on
expect that when you're a
Poseidon,
player, you're
actually,
going to
for-
be managing
for
this
newer
having a high
players.
amount. But with the cost being so high that they were, especially on release of Kraken, you often felt like you really couldn't play around it. It was more prohibitive than really helping you out much.
Right.
So you should be able to build this up, but over the course of a team fight, you should be able to rebuild it back up and use it back at 100% again if you're really good at managing it. But the costs were so high that just wasn't happening. So reduce the cost, make sure that you still have to be building up this resource.
It's a pretty
to spend
big
it,
deal.
But making it so that when you spend it, you're not going to be back at 0 for the rest of the team fight. You can actually reliably get some back or have some stored up if you're really high.
Yeah, there was actually it's a weird sort of mechanic, but it really rewards the good Poseidon players who know how to manage their tide, and this will help those out pretty
All right.
considerably.
That's interesting.
Next up is this. There's no way. ULLR, and then it says dash nerf. I thought we didn't do that here, Pon. What is this about?
Well, we
Holy.
decided to change that.
Wow.
It's
nerfing
finally
it.
happening?
We did Janus and ULLR in the same patch.
Wow. Man,
crazy.
Reddit.
Pray,
Ooh,
Thoth,
take a breath,
please.
guys. Sit down. It's
Thoth,
going to be A-okay. Bladed
I'll do
arrow slash
anything.
thrown at. It's actually the axe component that's getting a
Yes.
nerf here. It decreased the physical power scaling from 70% down to 65%, but then the base damage as well, 10 off all ranks. It was 60 to 180, now 50 to 170. This is just looking at toning down a little bit of that burst damage off the axe combo.
Yeah, so he's a stance switcher, which means he gets access to 2 abilities at level 1, and having the axe throw into the
I just got baited
Blade
so
arrow.
hard.
Yeah, it's
that's
on
the
the
one.
screen.
Yeah,
10
there you go.
damage?
You got it.
Having both those hit is
You
very
can
damaging.
suck
early
on my
which makes him have, like,
5%,
really
dude.
cool, killings that he has.
Holy.
But it's also very hard to fight against. If that axe hits you, you know you're basically going to be on the back foot for the rest of the early laning phase. Tone down the damage a little bit, as well as the skins
God.
if he goes to these more aggressive
just
stuff
got-
like a Transcendence
it's
Rush.
controlled
It's
so
not gonna be as
hard.
damaging. And then as the game
So
goes on,
hard.
having it be less means that his
Oh
damage combo
my
when he actually gets the stun.
goodness.
He's more bringing the utility of the stun to land
Oh my
his
God, there's-
auto attacks, which is going to be
Wait,
his main
A, B, C,
component
D,
late
E,
game,
F, G, H, I, L,
versus
M,
really
Q,
bringing the
R,
damage
S,
of just
T,
the stun.
U. They didn't nerf
As
Thoth.
well, the late
They
game, you've
didn't
got
nerf
insane
Thoth.
scaling on Hail of Arrows, and that's actually the next
Oh
nerf that
my
we're going to be bringing down.
God.
It was 110%, now 100%
I can't
on
believe
this
they didn't
ability.
nerf Thoth.
So it may not look like a lot. It feels like 5% from Bladed
they
Arrow, 10
decreased
base
Hail of
damage,
Arrows,
and then
yes.
10% from Hail of Arrows. But taking 15% scaling off of a combo plus 10 base damage,
Hit
I
him
think
with
really will find an impact.
Hit
Yeah,
him
that's the
with
big
it.
thing here. Is it's
There we go.
you
At least
almost
that's
always
something.
have the Hail of
That
Arrows
10% on Hail of Arrows is way more effective than
often. Any nerf to
flipping
both
axe
of them
thing. It's not
just
like the
takes that
axe
combo
was
down
doing
together.
too much damage.
So you really need to look at them together. It really does read more as a 15% nerf than it is just a 5 and a 10% separately.
Well, Reddit, JANUS, ULLR, rejoice. It's a birthday celebration here from Pon. How long does this thing go on? All right, there
I
it
was
is.
ready for that to go on
Finally,
for like 5 minutes.
I really thought it was going to. Some sort of magic trick there. That does it for your God balance. If you just joined us, we got a little fancy graphic for you to show you
didn't nerf Thoth
what you may
or
have missed.
Terra.
Couple exciting buffs. I'm really excited about the Hades buff, and always from my boy Poseidon. JANUS nerf makes me a little sad, but I suppose I understand about it.
I got 2 junglers to play, Hades and Kali. I'm ready.
Hades jungle. You said.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do it.
Pon, are you playing ranked tonight, or are you going out to celebrate your birthday?
I'm playing ranked tonight.
Okay, not safe to play ranked tonight, anybody.
Hey,
Pon.
I'm on my way to Masters D1 right now.
On the grind.
By the way, it's actually worth noting, ranked resets on this patch.
Oh, true. Ranked reset.
Yeah, so we have some additional notes in the patch notes as well as explain the reset, what a soft reset is, as well as a few other changes.
we have a
going to
soft
rank.
reset?
Make sure to check that out. But if you're trying to get a certain rank,
ranked
do it
resetting
this week.
Okay, do it.
Or if you're on console,
I
when
guess
it patches
they're
on
throwing
5.7.
in a
Exactly,
soft
as soon as
reset
possible,
like
maybe
right
not if
now.
you
What
wanna
the
queue into
hello?
Hades jungle, or at least have some
Did they
sort of
just
counter.
slip that under the
I've
radar?
been carrying games.
Sure. Pon, happy birthday. Let's throw it over to the party pooper himself, Hindu Man.
That's me, the party pooper. But I'm joined on the set by 2 of the lovely little ladies
I guess
of High Res
ranked
Studios.
is
Not the
resetting.
2 only lovely ladies, but 2 of them, Tina and Stubbs is back again. Tina from the design department and Stubbs from the art team is going to be joining us.
Yeah.
here.
Hey, Smite fans.
Hi.
So I was gonna be, hey, let's go through some of the
Spy
skins
fans.
we've got
Who's
today
she?
then
Hello?
and break them down. We're going to start things off with Sun.God.
I don't know who that is.
Is the first one we're going to take a look at here today.
Did you say
Sun.God? Why not Sun.Ra?
I literally have never seen her before.
Why not?
Or God.Ra?
I don't know. I
I
think
think
we're
a
just.
raw is a file, is it?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, this is one of those takes on the skins that we've seen a couple of times with some of the other ones. So is it going to change color?
All of
That's
these
my
skins
question.
are cool.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if
It's
Raw
on the other.
needed it.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, it's a lot like the run.exe and some of the other ones we've done in the past, so it will filter through different colors. And
Cool though.
I mean, people just love colors.
Yeah, I thought raw.exe might have worked too, but it's not going to be the case. Pompod's on his rushing back there now, by the way. That's why we're just hovering on this card out, because Pompod has literally just ran from doing patch notes to try and get back there and not make mistakes on his birthday. That's the main
Yes.
thing. Is he allowed to make mistakes on his birthday, girls? Do you reckon?
Yes, he is.
Absolutely not.
Whoa.
See, Stubbs is in my camp.
He can do what he wants. It's his birthday.
How old is he now?
Probably still
A
younger than-
dashing
I don't know what's happening.
22.
Skin looks
no,
cool.
I always thought he was like 21.
To be fair,
but yeah, I guess
if
that
you
makes
use
sense now.
any
He's
skin
22.
other than
Okay, so
Raw
this is a
America,
nice little look at it in game. It does
You're a
change color
communist
quickly. And I
traitor.
like the
So,
ground beneath
I'm
him
just
more
saying.
than anything else.
Yes. The hex.
God, that's cool though. Dang.
Oh my gosh.
That noise.
You don't need vision.
Doesn't matter. Gotta use Raw America.
He's snarky.
You don't need vision.
Don't want to be a traitor to freedom. Damn, it looks cool though.
I love these
Son
tech
of a
skins.
gun.
They're really fun.
Come on, get your butts in.
They look
Was there anything
amazing.
up there? No, there isn't anything. Usually I thought they would be. make
Sometimes
like a-
there is.
It's
There
glittery.
doesn't
There
always
is,
have
but
to be.
not this time.
It's glittery.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
it
more
is.
of the graphics on the ground for this one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's very jovial sounding Raw, this one, that's for sure, from what I can hear here.
Okay, now we're going
Get
in
your
the
butts in
purple.
here! Get your butts in here!
Get your butts in here.
Let's see the ult then.
Rawr. It is cool, and he says
I'm
snipe
really
when he
tells you what
opens,
he's about to do
which
before
isn't
he
as
does
good
it,
as
just in case
freedom.
you're confused, yeah?
Yeah. Chance to run
you
away.
know.
Yeah.
It's always tricky with Raw
He's-
to understand whether or not he's ulting or not, but hearing snipe definitely helps.
He is a team player, so he's just gonna, tell you what's gonna happen before he kills you.
I don't even know, I want to know how many
Snipe.
colors he goes through, because that's like a pinky.
I think it's called salmon right now.
Sorry, pinky is what I call
Sorry,
that.
I think that's salmon.
Pinky.
Sir.
Pinky.
It's a pinky sort of colour, and then I guess it goes like a bluey sort of colour, and I saw a purpley sort of colour.
They have-
Just add Lee to the
Yeah.
end of a colour, and that's kind of what I'm seeing.
Chuck
Look,
would
it's
be
yellowy,
so
orangey
disappointed.
yellowy.
Chuck would be so disappointed in you right now.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I know how important colors are to him.
Okay, well, let's
It's
take a
good,
listen
it's-
to the
it's
voice
good,
back
it's
then.
not
We
new,
said some of
right?
it through the abilities, but VGS time.
It's good.
Yeah! Yeah! Nailed it!
Was the heel dropping the FPS or
Yeah,
was?
I'm a winner.
Yeah.
Standing next to you is embarrassing. We're in the same game, just different levels. It's a great time to be alive because you get to watch me beat you at video games.
A giggly happy Ra. Thank you for the Ra skin. We'll move swiftly along then after Ra into Celestial
It's not like a
God
weird thing.
Odin.
This one's
so cool.
This
Yeah.
one's different.
It's got
This one's
wings.
awesome.
He's
Yeah,
got
the
wings.
wings. So the wings are brought in on very specific animations. So we'll see that in a bit when Pawn plays it. But there's special tech
I
that
do
we
like
set up
this
that
one.
kind of brings those wings in only during special situations, like him leaping for his 1 and for his ult. So I'm sure Pawn will show that to us. But
This gun looks very regal too.
yeah.
Yes.
Like I said,
This
it
is a
reminds me of
cool
Paladins quite a lot, like one of our other sister games.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It
does.
reminds me like a Fernando sort of armor. That's
Oh,
why, you
okay.
know?
Does
Because he
look like
is
that.
an actual
yeah.
paladin.
Yeah.
He is a paladin,
That's a very
but
good point.
also a paladin from the Paladin
A Paladin within a Paladin.
game.
That's the name of the
But
game.
it's Smite!
That's the name of the game.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Those wings
Yeah, there's
look a little
definitely-
small to really help him with the
Their
leap
client
stuff.
is
No,
like-
watch.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
there we
where
go.
did they
Yeah,
come
yeah,
from?
yeah.
So-
See that?
It's like the
wings.
tier, we know the tier skin,
Yeah, with
the
the
knight one,
Lawbringer.
the evil knight one. So this is
Yeah.
the same tech,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah, same
Nice.
exact
Used for
setup
this.
as those dragon wings, so you guys could like play those
Pretty
in the
cool.
same
God,
match
they're
together
lagging
and
their
then just
brains out,
completely
dude.
wreck people with these winged characters.
And Chris Lee actually did the effects for this. So good job, Chris.
Yeah, way to go, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sort of
Chris.
effects over the head too you can see every now and again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just when you pop the
I love
ability,
how
give you an idea of what's
I love
going
how
on with the
they're
bird
fine
bombs.
until the usability.
They're always
the
gonna get called bird
usabilities
bombs,
and
though.
Yeah, they're always going to be called that forever and
Has
always.
to be.
In a 1200 gem bundle would not
ring
surprise me.
Of
Would not surprise me.
impenetrable doom.
Oh my god, look at that lag, dude.
So I just want to mention that you can also get the skin from
Oh
the
yeah, those effects are
season
really
ticket.
killing it.
Oh, is it the season
Yes,
ticket skin?
so this is the season ticket. This is the skin that you purchase with the bundle, the season ticket bundle. You know how there's a season ticket bundle?
Yeah.
That's the normal bundle, and there's the bundle with the points. So you get this
Isn't
on
bad.
in both, depending on which one you buy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
So,
if you bought
um,
the season ticket, you can get this.
Yes. So just
Cool.
purchase the season ticket, and you get this
Crazy
along with
FPS.
fantasy points.
Yeah, I think this is my new favorite Odin skin too. I really liked his panda
Maybe we can
skin.
switch
I
it
was
over
gonna
to the
say
YouTube
panda.
The panda
stream.
one.
I know the panda
and
one's
maybe
my
the
favorite, but I
YouTube
think this
stream
is my new
better.
favorite.
Sometimes it is.
Well, let's all listen into the voice pack then for this Odin skin.
For glory! For glory!
I doubt it though.
Exceptional!
Because I'm pretty sure it's their
I am
literal in-game FPS.
You are unmatched!
No, but it's not.
I shall
It's literally
cleanse
their
this
in-game
impurity.
FPS, so nothing affects it.
Look me in the eye when you are taunting me. The only thing I find funny is that you think you can escape the one true faith. If I add any more armor to my body, my wings will not be able to handle the weight. Angel problems.
So if you recognize this voice, the guy who voices this is actually Patrick Zeitz. He does the
Really?
voices for Garrosh and Arthas and
Arthas.
Sub-Zero as
know
well.
that.
So
Cool.
that's quite
cool.
neat fact. Yeah. Yeah, he was great to work
Awesome.
with.
I've thought
Why
I've
is
heard
their
that voice a
client
couple of
lagging
times
so bad?
before. All right, that's enough of Odin.
Must be
It's
their
time to get onto
computer,
the
am
one
I
that I've been
right?
looking forward to the most this
Must
week.
be their computer. Smite's
It's
perfectly
Pushy
optimized.
Artio.
So cute.
I think I'm going to
That barrel
stay
looks
in
pretty
bare
cute.
form the entire time. Is that a weird Anubis skin on the left? What's that? Anubis with
Oh,
a
wait,
human
what the heck?
face?
It's like a cosplaying
Yeah, it's
Anubis,
a
I
cosplaying
think. There's a
Anubis.
bunch of
Oh, it's a
cosplayers
cosplayer.
behind
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Dude, she's at
it.
Kawaii Con. Look at that. Kawaii Con on the card art top.
Kawaii
Yeah.
Con.
So all the
Oh,
kawaii
boy.
skins can go in together.
Oh
then.
boy.
So
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
I
The
love
voice pack on
kawaii
this could be rough.
I'm not a big fan of the kawaii style, but I do like this one.
Yeah.
This one's really intricate. Like she has like a kawaii bear pouch. Like you see the panda bear pouch.
Nuzzling.
And yeah, it's just super cute.
She's got that ombre.
Yeah, she got that ombre.
That good ombre.
I also like to see skins where we get to see people potentially cosplay as them too.
Yes,
This is
this would be
definitely
a
something they
great
could
one.
do, but I want to see them turn into the bear. That's the most interesting.
It should
Just
be
like
two
that.
people. It should be
God.
two people. Like the butt is one person, and then like the horse people.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, I agree.
He's so cute and
She,
lovely.
Excuse me, that's a she.
I said it.
She
No, I heard you
is.
say he.
I was
at
not
those
gender
big
specific
eyes.
there. Thank you
Did you
very
just
much.
assume that bear's gender?
It's a little bit
How
terrifying.
dare you assume the bear's gender?
Oh my God! Look at it! It's the VXG.
Oh
She's
god.
dancing.
Oh god.
It's
She's floppy.
Look at her mouth.
It's so floppy. like,
So the mouth on the bear,
Tina,
the mouth on
okay.
the bear is just like the same kind of tech that we used for the
Holy.
Ratatosker anime Ratatosker mouth, where it changes, and there's a whole setup in the pipeline where we have animations able to use sliders to change which mouth they
he's
want to
annoyed.
use.
That's an
And then
angry
you
bear.
can, in the entry, just automatically pull in the mouth that they picked.
Angry fluffy bear.
That's an angry
Dude, I
bear.
love the effects on it too, like the cartoony. It's so great. It's so troll, but it's so great at the same time. I love it.
I like the little clouds. Oh, the sound effects are nice.
Also
too.
want to give a shout out to the 3D artists who created the skin. So we got Scott Kletska, who actually did Artio, and then for the bear,
Yeah, I
it was
wish
actually
FPS wasn't so bad
Quinn
for
Parker.
this game,
So.
Also, you have to divide, I guess, with two. Technically, it's two skins,
So-
right? So you got to divide this artwork up.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
some of these double gods, it's like we're doing like 2 whole characters. It's
Sure.
not as easy as a typical character is.
And we got more and more of those as time goes on too, with more doubles. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's definitely a cute bear, but it does look very damaging and aggressive as always.
Dude, that coming towards you, you just want to.
I want to hug it.
GTFO.
No, I want to hug it.
You want to hug it?
Yeah.
Is that
Okay,
angry?
maybe
You
not.
want to hug that?
Maybe not. It looks slightly annoyed now.
Like that? I don't know.
Kind of got a little Five Nights at Freddy's feel
I
about
guess
this as
if it
well, you
eats-
know? Where
if
it's
it
like
eats
the
and
evil
eats
bear.
you, it'll be fine because you're just in the stuffing with it. Like you just go into the stuffing,
You knock the
and then
stuff
you
out.
can just tear yourself back out with a knife of the stuffing.
Okay, let's have a listen to the voice pack for this skin.
That was
Okay.
awesome!
Could be worse.
Mwah! You rock! Aren't I fun? Please don't take your bad juju out on me. Hate and anger won't get you far. So I've been awake for a whole hour. The panda inside me says I should take a nap. No matter how little I eat, I still feel so stuffed all the time.
Oh.
Oh,
She's a stuffed bear. Hey, at least the voice
I
track
assume it's
wasn't
got
like
VXG. Did we
over
see
the
it?
top annoying. That's nice.
Yeah, it was the.
Did we see it?
Yeah,
I didn't know
we
it was
saw it
VXG. I
already.
It
wasn't
was
sure.
the
Does it have
floppiness.
VXG?
Oh, we didn't. You're right.
What's that?
Wait,
It's a little bear.
He's got a little bear around him.
Yeah, so this tech is actually the same setup that we did for the French doll Arachne, where we're bringing in a mesh and it's following the base character, but it can be pulled out anytime and brought back in anytime.
That's
Whoa.
awesome.
Okay.
So it'll stay until you use abilities and things, or
If you jump, if someone hits
okay.
you,
Okay.
so we don't want it to look like an ability. That's
Sure.
really important. But
that's fair.
I
Very
totally
important to
thought
make
the
sure it
floppiness
doesn't
was
affect
the
gameplay.
VXG.
yeah, that's actually the dance.
Oh, like
That
giving
was
you
the dance.
That was
Yeah.
cute. Yeah.
All right,
there it
that's
is.
it for RTO. I will end with the little dancing bear one more time. It looks like he's got just someone controlling it on like wires above
Yeah.
it. The way it's dancing. That's it for Pushy RTO. You'll be able to get that in the next patch too. Moving
dance,
along,
though.
we've got Mixer Scardy coming
Oh
up.
boy, Mixer
Now, obviously,
exclusive skins.
A lot of exclusive stuff
Shown
going on
first
with
here
esports
on Twitch.
and Mixer in tow. So
Twitch,
it's only
where
right that
everything
we bring
happens
out a
first.
Mixer skin to go maybe towards the Mixer chest. I don't know if it's actually going in there, but we'll find out in due course. There's a little look at it. Most of the abilities are the same, but there's one or two nice little differences. The Mixer t-shirt with the Mixer logo on the back too.
So you're saying they mixed it up a bit.
And I think the effects as well, right?
Yeah, they do look a little bit brighter there on the effects for sure.
No, oh, there it is. There's a mix. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh my god.
Shout out to people
Mixer,
watching this
I
on Mixer
barely
right
know her. Goodness. Kids nowadays.
And with that, we'll move along to EDM Ravana.
Two. Yeah.
Or should I say
Here we go.
Raven Ravana.
Raven Ravana.
Yeah, they skipped over
Now we've got
that
a full
skin
team.
real quick.
Yeah.
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 We've got 5 gods. Not a whole complete organized team,
No.
I'd say, because there's 2 mages.
Yeah.
Technically, Raven's the assassin, so we need a warrior one still. Unless we give an assassin one and put Raven in the solo with.
There we go.
But it's
oh,
a
he
team.
looks a lot like
It is a team.
we
You can
got a
have
team.
5. A really
I'm ready.
Few,
I've been so ready
Imagine
for
getting
Robin
an
skin
assault.
for so long.
That'd be perfect.
Can't believe they didn't nerf Robin.
just all play assault and all manage
Yep.
to get a
That's a cool.
a
You can
different
just
EDM skin.
scare the opposite team by just running at them, all playing their different EDM songs at the same time. That's my style, at least.
The back
I would
looks
just have a
great.
jump party.
Oh my goodness, the FPS boys. Come on, there you go.
Pump it up.
Pump it up. What are we doing?
Oh, the shield
Dude,
around him too. I
do you
like that
see
little
him?
green
Like-
shields.
Yeah. the do around him is.
Yeah, it's passive.
That's so good.
Oh, I see it. They're like clapping hands.
There's so many colors in this one. Like some of the EDM skins have color in, but this one feels like he's got even more than some of the others.
Yeah. Oh, have you heard the old?
What was that old music?
Ooh, it's like a Bollywood, like a Bollywood EDM track.
Yeah, the first time the sound effects got in for the skin when I was working on it, I was like, oh my god, this is like the coolest
Wait, did she just start the tuduk?
Okay, it does have a voice pack too, so we should probably take a listen to that one.
Also, there's the EDM BXG for the
Don't tell him that yet. Shh.
I thought we knew.
It was a surprise.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I love how he dances. That was actually done by one of our animators, Jersey.
That's really cool. It's got a real Hindu theme to it. Shockingly enough, he's a Hindu god. Would you believe it?
What a surprise.
You're pooping me, man.
And I guess he can do the whole dance thing with Ganesh.
His ulti music is way better.
Ganesh is DJ, isn't he?
Thingy.
No, he can.
Oh, he can?
This is a DJ skin.
Way better.
Oh, I'm getting confused between EDM. I don't know why EDM and DJ. I'm like, okay, two different things are the same thing.
Yeah.
So Ganesh, Janus, Zeus, and Neith. The latest one to join it. Let's have a listen to that voice pack then and see how that works out. Yeah, this is gonna be in every game, boys and girls.
I'm world famous, baby. You're killing it out there. I can drop 138 BPM, and I'm not talking about my music.
What?
Hey, enough with the dubstep jokes. Just drop it already.
Oh goodness.
Mad props.
Mad props.
Some really amazing skins this patch. Glad to look forward to seeing those as time goes on. What's your favorite this week, girls? Ladies, I should say.
Plushie. Probably plushie.
I mean, it's got to be plushie, right?
Yeah, it's terrifying and sweet at the same time. It's gonna be great.
Oh goodness.
It's trolltastic.
I don't know about that woohoo.
What about you, Stubbs?
I was also going to pick Plushie, but I really do like the Ravana skin. I don't normally play a lot of Ravana, but I probably will now.
What do you play more?
Who do I play the most? Probably Artemis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening when they introduced her. What is she? Is she a vocal
With that,
or
it's
art
time
designer?
for us to
Does she work with Tina?
bid you adieu. That's the end of the patch notes this week. We've gone through all the skins. Obviously, the only mastery skin you'll get to see in game live and on the PTS too. And PTS for you guys at home will be on Friday. PTS will be on Friday with all the latest balance changes along with all these skins. It should be released on PC on the 24th, which is Tuesday of next week, and console on May the 1st, not May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Someone's going to say it. With that, it's time for us to call it a day now. The SPL is about to start, so stay tuned for the SPL, especially if you're watching on Mixer, because it's the only place you can watch it. Take it easy. We'll see you all again on the Patch Note Show in 2 weeks' time.
Because it's the only place.